Hello there, I am Blunty. This is the Thermaltake Core P5 chassis. It's not really a case now, is it? They call it a chassis. I should call it a chassis 2 or chassis. So, what's the other pronunciation people do? Chassis, for some reason. Chassis? No, it's a chassis. How do you pronounce it? Does it even matter? Got my chassis. Got my pile of parts down here, which I showed you all about in the previous video to this one. If you haven't seen part 1 where I go through the parts that I'm using for this PC build, then go back and watch that one. And I have my beer, and I've got some Family Guy on the TV over there. Now, this build video isn't going to be a sort of a step-by-step, stage-by-stage, almost how-to kind of video like I have done with the previous builds where I've gone through everything. This time I'll just pull out the camera for interesting bits and pieces, or, you know, when I run into things worth mentioning. So this should make this video a little bit shorter and punchier and give you the kind of information you need to know about what it's like to build in the Core P5 case here. And it looks like, no, I missed a screw. Missed that screw right. Oh, and that one there. Whoops. So yeah, these come flat packed basically. So you have to sort of screw on the feet and this little sort of platform here for the cooler, and this little tray for the graphics card. You can mount the graphics cards either horizontally or vertically. And this one I've chosen to go vertically here because, well, for the reasons I explained in the first video, the fans on the video card I'm using are illuminated and I want to show them off. So yeah, I'm going to start putting this thing together, and by the time we get to the end of the video, we should have our first boot up, hopefully. Alrighty, so here we go. I've got it set up in what should be the most basic functional setup at the moment. I've only got one hard drive in there at the moment. It's the OS hard drive, of course, which I pulled directly from the other computer, put in this. Haven't done any special things to it, which probably might mean that Windows 7 won't boot properly, but it should get me to booting at least. As you can see, I've got all the water cooling stuff. I've got that filled. I let it bleed out overnight and sort of bubble away, and most of the air bubbles are out of the system by now. I think it's starting to get pretty quiet. I've got the Gigabyte Xtreme Gaming 980 Ti in there ready to go. And the only thing left to do now is hold my breath as I turn it on for the very first time. Well, second time actually. I turned it on once when I just got the motherboard hooked up to make sure it would actually boot up and all the power was working and everything, but this will be the first full boot past the BIOS, hopefully. So you should be able to see the screen. Let me bring it in a little bit like this. I'm a little bit nervous. So hold your breath. Alright, it's a good sign. Lights are on there, lights are on over there, lights are on here and there. It's all, oh, that turned off. Alright, there's probably a setting I can tweak to. What, is that connected to the fan? Yeah, that's connected to the CPU fan header, so I might want to turn that on constantly in the BIOS or something, but no, I'm not right. Huh. Shush. Come in now. There you go. Alright, let's double check these HDMI connections. something a little bit wackadoo in the HDMI output then, so let's try that again. Are we going to get signal? Come on now. Yep, there's signal. Keyboard illuminated. Oh, there we go. So there's the BIOS screen. And, oh, there's the Windows thing. Yeah, I know. I just try and start it normally, see what happens. Holy crap, it's working. Can you guys see that? I mean, huh. My understanding was when you switched if you just pulled a hard drive out of a computer and put it in another computer, completely different hard drive and stuff, it wouldn't boot properly. Maybe it just depends on which versions of the drivers they're using. Well, huh! I'll be damned. It boots straight into Windows first try. Well, second try after that weird graphics card glitch. What's that say? Windows created a temporary paging file on your computer because... Okay, yeah, okay. So the paging file is kind of a bit weird, probably because it's you know, used to having a bunch of hard drives in there. I've got it set up in a very particular way, and it doesn't have the proper drivers for this motherboard or anything set up. But yeah, keyboard works, mouse is just responding perfectly. Yeah, no steam. Come on, just go away. You can't connect to the internet right now anyway. So that's success. Right. So the job now is I'll put in the rest of the components, mount the rest of the hard drive, set everything up, go into the BIOS, dig around there, install the proper drivers for this motherboard, because of course I've got none of those installed yet, so we can actually get the sound and the LAN and all that kind of stuff working properly. Go into the BIOS, set everything up, make sure it's recognizing the memory and all that sort of stuff. I'll do all this off camera because it's very sort of standard kind of stuff, but point is, it's working first time. All the colours are wrong though. Green and blue and red over there are all splashed. They're supposed to be green, green, green. I'll fix all that. Actually, can I fiddle with the Thermaltake one here, which is the button for the colours. Is it this one? Or is it this one? I'll have to figure all that out later. I can't see. There we go. Can't see what hey, green! Ah! There we go. I can't do this one yet because I have to go into the software for the WinForce driver, which I probably can't do right now because drivers and stuff. Anyway. So, I've earned my beer. I've had a beer just sitting there ready. So, day 2, boot up clean. Oh, I do love that beer. So, I'm pretty damn happy. How do you think it looks, by the way, guys? I mean, I haven't tied it up anything yet. I've done a little bit of cable management. Still got to clean up sort of this run here and clean up that run there and sort of do something about this up here, and I've got some cable clips for all the stuff that's going to hang off the back there, and you know, in the next video I'm going to take you through what the build process was actually like, you know, how this case was like to build in and sort of any problems I hit with the water cooling and all that kind of stuff. So tune in then, but for now, success! I was fully expecting that to just collapse. Right, the Windows was going to freak out and go, "Hey, what you switched motherboards? No, you have to call Microsoft and buy a new license and stuff." I am, by the way, you might notice. Can you notice? There's Windows 7, obviously. Now that it's in this machine, I think now's the time to pull the trigger on that Windows 10 upgrade. I really don't want Windows 10 because of all of the issues, but you know, Windows 10 is the place to be. You know, there's a little bit of performance increase in gaming, or the new drivers. I hit a problem the other day with Windows. There was something I wanted to run that Windows 7 couldn't run. I was like, what? Of course, DX12 stuff, that's going to be more important in the following year, in the year to come, with the, you know, GTX 1080 and all that sort of stuff. There'll be DX12 tests to do and stuff. So I have to. Don't want to, but I have to. But anyway, now that I've got this new machine, now feels like the point I should pull the trigger and start clean with that. Anyway, waffling. I'm going to enjoy my beer, shut this down, put Family Guy back on the TV, finish up all my cable routing and hard drive installations, and is there anything else I need? There's probably a few little bits and pieces I'm forgetting, but give me a thumbs up. Give me a hell yeah in the comments section. Give me a woo, you've actually done a surprisingly good job on that water cooling tubing bending. I'm going to get into this in the other video, but by the way, this hardline water tubing thing, it's not as difficult as some people like to try and make it out. I think they you know, the self-proclaimed experts in it, who do it for a living and do sort of builds for other people and stuff, trying to make it seem like it's more complicated than it is, so they can, I don't know, charge more for the skill set. It's actually not that difficult. Like, this is my first ever go at it, and you know, there's a couple of places I could have improved, and I'll talk about that in the other video, but I don't know, man, I feel like I nailed it. Thanks for watching. I'm Blunty. We'll catch you next time. can't believe that worked.